Hello, everyone. Welcome to Accessible Moms. I'm Coach Tori.
And I'm Jillian. And we are finally at the end of our Define Who You Are series.
Ooh.
So for the next two videos, we will be discussing the values portion of the Define Who You Are series. And with the values, along with the likes and dislikes, all of those will help to shape and define who you are as a person.
Yeah. So with that being said, once you have a good grasp on what you like, what you dislike, and what you truly value, you will be able to eliminate people, things that doesn't
Align with you?
Yeah, align with you and your purpose. So it'll be easier for you to let those things go and not hold on to them, because in the end, when you're holding on to things that shouldn't be in your life, that can bring you down, and stop you from getting to the point where you want to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This lesson I'm sharing with you all, parents, moms, for you to be able to understand for yourself, right? The things you're holding on to that doesn't belong anymore. So you can, in the end, teach your children and teach them early. It's never too early. You ask them, what do you like? Or if they say, I don't like that, and you ask them why, you let them figure out at an early age what's important to them and what isn't. And of course, it may change throughout the years, but you want to set them up already for them to know if something doesn't feel right, that's not for me. Yeah. I think this is, again, I always say the main reason I'm doing this channel is to help our children. But of course, I want to help the moms and the women as well. So do you want to go with the first one?
Yes.
Okay.
So my first one is equivalent exchange. And for those of you who understand that reference, you're a real one. That just basically means give or take. Reciprocated, like feelings, or just reciprocation in general. I really value that as someone who has always seemed to be giving in relationships and not being able to receive anything. That's a really big value of mine, is that I want to be in relationships with people who are able to give and receive, and then vice versa for me as well. I'm able to give and receive as well, and it's not just one way or the other, because that's not good. That doesn't make you feel good. And I'm sure those of you would know, if you have only been the giver, to really look around you and see if the other people who are in your circle are also reciprocating that. If you find yourself only to be giving, and they're just taking, and you're not getting anything in return, I would reevaluate that relationship and just ask yourself, is this really benefiting me, or is this benefiting more the other person? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a big one. Reciprocation.
Mm-hmm.
That is the word, right?
Mm-hmm.
Reciprocity.
Reciprocity, yeah.
Yeah. And I know this one all too well, and I have many examples. I'll only share a couple today. And this particular topic will also be discussed in our next series on boundaries. Because some of us are just innately, we're givers, right? We like to see people happy. And, we give. And to our detriment, sometimes we forget ourselves, or we don't think, we deserve anyone to give back to us. And when you do that, and I have done that so many times, and I thought I was just being kind and, going out with friends and always picking up the tab and, things like that. And even when they would say, no, 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 I've got it, I insisted. But I never allowed people to give back, It's not to say that they all didn't offer. For me, this is completely on me, a lesson I had to learn, that true relationships work with give and take, right? And if, I'm sitting here and I want you to be happy and I want to do these things from you out of the kindness of my heart, but I don't allow anyone to do that back to me, that's very telling that, you need to look at why. Do you not feel like you're deserving? Is it just how you were raised? Do you think if I expect something from someone else, I'm being selfish? The answer is no. No, no, no. Again, you need to know your worth, right? That's what it boils down to, is knowing your worth. And again, we'll get into that more when we talk about boundaries, but yeah, that's a big one.
Would you say that pride can sometimes be a factor of like,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then you need to dive deep and figure out what is it with the ego that makes your pride so strong that you can't allow someone who wants to make you feel good, on their terms, to do something for you. And a lot of it, of course, most of it, all of it stems from your childhood. So that's where, with all of this, we need to go back and figure out where it began. When we're kids, right? If someone offers you an ice cream or a candy, you're going to accept it without even thinking about it, right? And then you may share something with your friend. At what point did that change as you start growing up, and why? And that's what you need to then retrain the brain as to, if I feel they're deserving of my time and my kindness, I am also, worth that in return.
A thought just came to mind. Could one of the reasons why be like, obviously, as a child, we're told not to accept anything from strangers?
Well, I mean, that's one thing, but we're talking about people
Well, I'm saying, like, though, if that's what's always been told, and then that gets is like
the
repeated.
Programming.
Yeah, I meant more the programming,
Right.
And then you feel like, oh, if I accept this, would they want something? Or I don't know. It's a difficult situation to think of, but that's just what came to my mind. Could that be a part of it? Like a small part?
Well, it could be a small part.
Yeah, I'm not talking about...
Because we're really talking about people who you allow to come into your life.
Yeah.
And where you're doing everything, right? Because you cherish that relationship, but then they don't give you the time of the day.
Yeah.
They never think about you. They never call a checkup on you. They,
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. When you're in a relationship, no matter what type it is, it needs to be balanced on both parties. Right? So that's something, that means a lot to us.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
Another big one for me is people who value their work or value the task that they are given. I am someone who, I'm not sure if I mentioned this already, I put 110% effort into my work. I am very proud of what I do. And if I'm not happy with something, it will bug me until I fix it.
Capricorn.
Yes. But when I'm with people who don't reciprocate that sentiment and they're just like, as long as I just get the job done or as long as it's
minimum.
Amateur, then it irritates me. It irritates me, especially if it's like a group effort and the consequences could then lead to you. Then,
so what was that?
I'm trying to find a nicer word. Yeah, it irks me. It irks me. What did you say?
What was the?
Oh, people who value their work.
Okay.
Or value whatever like tasks they're given.
Right. So yeah, that's a good point. And I am the same way. I mean, I think we're twins or something, but so when I was in, work situations with a group or a team, and seeing people who just sat and watch the clock all day. And when someone would pass by, then they would get busy to work and then they will watch the clock. And that bugged me because, I was raised to take pride in your work and anything you do. I just was. And to see people just abuse what I call abusing the system or putting more work on you because they didn't want to do their share. It is irritating. It's frustrating. And, but what I have learned through that, because if we take on so much of that frustration from other people, one, is not our place to do that, right? We have to find a way to move on from that, because if you allow that to just eat at you, it's not doing you any good, health wise, mentally, emotionally. So it's best to understand what you are responsible for. You're not responsible for them getting their work done or how they choose to spend their time, but you should always speak up for yourself if what they're doing or not doing has an impact on you, right? If you're being accused of not getting something done when it was their job, you have to speak up. You have to speak up, but we have to learn to let go of all this frustration from other people not doing what we expect them to do, or them being like us. I mean, for me, it's more of a common sense. It's just, take pride in what you do. If you're going to do it to the best of your ability. Don't just get by. So that is one thing that bugs us. And I know with Jillian, she will come home often and it's not, necessarily the coworkers, but the customers, and it's just all about how you treat people. It's like, if you're having a bad day, don't take it out on every person that comes into your view. But you can't change that. So you can only change, how you react to that situation and realize it's their business, it's their problem, they're going through something, but it has nothing to do with me. That's something that takes time to, to get to the point to where it doesn't bother you, but in the end, we want to treat people the way we want people to treat us the way we treat them, as well as pick up their own slack. Mm-hmm. And I think that's it, because I can't respect someone who just gets by and leaves stuff for other people to do, So no, yeah.
Yeah.
I value people who take value and pride in themselves.
And then a lesson that I'm currently learning now, for those of you who do work environments where it is like a group effort, to keep things running, and if someone or whomever is in your space is not doing the jobs that they're supposed to do, and you're getting the flack for it.
Yeah. You have to speak up. That's what I said.
Yeah, speak up. But then also, don't beat a dead horse. If you are going to like your manager and saying, hey, I am doing this, this wasn't done, we're making sure that we're doing this, and they're not willing to listen, then don't keep going to that manager to keep complaining, listing the problems and stuff, because you are just wasting your energy. And if the manager or your supervisor isn't willing to listen or do anything about it, then why make yourself more exhausted, more frustrated if things aren't going to change?
Yeah. And you can only, don't allow people to make you do something that is out of character for you. You know, you have that integrity to be dependable, to do what's expected of you. But don't allow someone to then make you want to slack off and get to their level. No, you want to bring them up to yours. And I mean, you can't do it. They have to want to. But you just, you know, like Jillian said, just let it go and continue to do the best work you can do. And that's all you can do.
Yeah.
That's all you do, because that's all you're in control of is yourself. Right?
Yep.
So that would really fall under integrity though, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Integrity, being dependable on other people.
Right. Doing the right thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, being reliable. I mean, and you know, people don't realize, and we're talking about the workplace and like that, but that goes into your personal relationships too. So, you know, you think about that. Do you want someone who is not dependable, who said, I'll be over at whatever time, and they never show up, they never call, they never text, you know, but it happens all the time.
Yeah.
You know, is this someone you want to continue to give your energy and time to? Yeah. So these are the questions you need to ask yourself, you know, and I hear people all the time complaining about a certain person. I can never trust them, and they never show up on time, or they never offer to pay for this, or they never offer to host, or all these things. If you're saying that, you have to ask yourself, how does this help me to be in this relationship?
Which that will fall under give and take again.
Yeah. How does this help me to be upset and angry and resentful, to go through this all the time? If you find yourself not saying positive things about this person, but they're all negative, that's when you step back and say, wait a minute, I need to reevaluate this relationship. You know, how is it helping me to be frustrated and angry and giving of myself always? And I can't probably even depend on this person to take me to the hospital if I needed to go, you know? So think about that. Yeah.
Yep. Another one that we both put down is authenticity.
Yes.
Which we love, people being their true selves and not being someone that they're not.
All the time.
Yes. Putting on that mask and not showing your true self. Because then that falls under trust again. It's like, can I really trust you? You're just spouting the things either I want to hear or that you want to hear, but is that really what you truly believe and think? Yeah. Yeah. Are you following the path that you want to and not trying to live someone else's life, or trying to live the life that someone has carved out for you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A good way. I mean, if you pay attention to your feelings,
Mm-hmm.
when you're around certain people, I always say your feelings, it's really your yes and no. It will let you know depending on how your gut feels. I mean, if you're like, "Ooh, I'm so happy to see you," that's a yes. If you feel a big knot in the pit of your stomach when you see someone, you might want to reevaluate that, or if you find people are, is it chameleons?
That
We're
like change the
depending on
colors. Oh yeah.
Or depending on who they're with, they turn into a
Yeah.
mini of that other person. No, I want to know who I'm dealing with. Know who you are. Be comfortable with who you are. I mean, we're not perfect. No one's perfect. And you can call me out when I am not acting my normal self. I may have something going on, and that's fine. We're humans living a life to learn, but you have to be consistent. Being authentic is being consistent with who you are, with your likes, your dislikes, your values, because then you know what you're getting from that person. Just be truthful to whom you are, because if you're not, do you really know who you are?
Yeah.
It's not about people pleasing, but it's not about hurting people either. Intention is everything. And a lot of people get that skewed up and confused. Someone says, "Oh, you hurt my feelings by the tone I used or the words I used." Oftentimes they have to look at, okay, what was it that they said or how they said it that triggered me, right? And you're just being your authentic self. Of course, if someone says that came off harsh, I will apologize for that, but I'll let them know also that wasn't my intention. Maybe it's, just me being very, it's not excitable. Losing my train. I need food.
Ecstatic?
No, that it just means something to me and I can get very ramped up. You know that about me, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, I mean, always be open to people who may criticize you or have something that's not so nice to say, and think about it and take it, and if it's something you need to change, cop up to it and it's okay. It's okay. But at least I would rather somebody be authentic with me and tell me how they feel or what they feel. And, instead of, "Oh no, I'm fine. Oh no, I'm fine." But then they go behind your back and talk to 100 people about what you did. Yeah. Okay.
That was my tummy.
Honesty. Honesty.
Yeah. Just people being honest with not only you, but also themselves. Which would fall under authenticity again. But
sometimes you have to break it down.
Yeah.
Someone who feels the need to lie about everything and say, "Oh, but I did it for the goodness of." No. Be honest. And sometimes honesty hurts. But again, why is that person hurting? I would respect someone who's being honest with me, whether it feels good or not, depending on what the situation is. Just tell me the truth. Once I lose trust, I lose trust.
Yeah.
It's hard for me. I know a lot of people can, take people back or whatever. And it's just hard for me because I'm authentic and I let you know, I show you my true self. And I do expect the same in return. And when I find out someone has lied to me, and especially if it's something so insignificant, how can I trust this person with something, even more important?
Yeah, I feel the exact same.
So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you lose me really quick by lying and just, hiding things.
Yep.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. So we are going to cut it here, and then we're going to finish off the rest of the video for next week.
Yes. Thank you for joining us. I hope our conversations help you in some way. And if they do, please like,
share,
and subscribe. And please let your friends and family know about this channel if you feel it can help them. And just really quick, one more time, accessible moms only means where your child feels that they can come to you with anything at any point in time. That's where I'm trying to get us to, is just to be accessible to them, because we want them coming to us and not others, or not to anyone if they're having troubles or if they need advice. Accessible moms, that's who we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Until next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.